Our next speaker, you recognize from earlier this morning, is back again. Just earlier, she commented on the urgency of the situation, and I think it's a good sign to have someone enthusiastic, impatient, and persistent for green building will really help us all. So with that, I'd like to look forward to your presentation.
So I talked earlier about this whole big project of energy efficiency in buildings, and now I would like to share with you the experience that Sonae has had of actually implementing the sustainability on our buildings at least effectively and actively for the last 10 years. For those of you who don't know us, Sonae is a company that we passionately build shopping centers. We are currently in 6 countries in Europe and in Brazil. And the 6 countries, if you are asking, is Portugal, Spain, Italy, Germany, Greece and Romania. And we just started our activity in Romania last year. And we have 48 shopping centers already opened, and we have further 28 currently under development. One of the things that our company is known for is that we kind of built the green shopping center concept, because we try to put our the environmental approach in all the different phases of the business. And I think it helps a lot, because we have the integrated, we have the whole value chain. We go out, we procure the projects, we design them together with design teams, we build them together with contractors, and then we operate them. So we are together in the whole lifetime of the building, and I think this makes life a lot easier. And still, it's a big challenge. So how did this all started? Why are we into this environment thing? It all started in 1998, when our board members decided we need to be different from the competition. And one of the things where we are going to be different, it's in the environment. We are going to be environmental leaders of our sector. So in 1998, the board approved our environmental policy, which basically, it publicly assumes our environmental principles that we need to follow while pursuing our business as usual, building and operating shopping centers. After having published the environmental policy, we started developing and implementing gradually in all the different phases of the business an environmental management system. Our environmental management system got certified in 2005 by Lloyds. Lloyds is an international certifier that is basically in all the countries where we operate. I mean, this is just a box to show that there are a lot of interactions, and the idea is that the environment is in each department that the company works. And one of the very important tools that our environmental system is based on is the performance indicators, because this is the big motto: you cannot manage what you cannot measure. So we have at least 6 years back of very detailed data of all our portfolio. And this relates to, these are just some examples. This relates to waste, this relates to energy levels in each and every shopping center in all the different regions where we are operating. This relates to water consumption, and we have some other performance indicators. What is the impact that our actions had in our portfolio? So this is our best friend in terms of environmental management. How do we make sure that our buildings are sustainable? Again, I mean, we ensure that we act in all the different phases of the business. It starts with the development, it includes procurement, it goes very deep into the design phase, because as many speakers have already told today, we need to act as early as possible, and this starts sitting down with design teams and checking with them, are we choosing the right equipment? Are we choosing the right equipment that make it possible for our building to be efficient? And then it goes on through construction phase, which is a very short period, but it's also very important. We usually build shopping centers within 18 months, and let me tell you, it's very stressful. And then it's operation phase. Over 40 years, we have shopping centers that we need to operate and try to find these efficiency gains in each and every little action that we do on our daily life. I will start now with examples. We have 2 shopping centers that have been developed in the Lisbon area over more or less 1 year apart. And in these 2 different shopping centers that basically have the same climate, we installed two different types of chillers. As you know, in the southern European areas, the building has a lot of internal thermal gains, so there is the need to cool down the building all year around. So the chillers are basically, they are one of our main energy consumers. And we tried in these two shopping centers, we chose two chillers, one with a coefficient of performance of 6.8 and the other one with a coefficient of performance of 4.8. This is a good example to show that not always more efficient equipments bring us higher costs, because Rio Sul Shopping has a more efficient chiller and it actually cost less. The difference was not so much, but the interesting part is the operation costs. Every year we have 45,000 euros in Rio Sul less in terms of operating costs of this equipment compared to Lourdes Shopping. So this is a good example. More efficient equipments are not always more expensive. Another example, in a shopping center that we opened last October in the north of Spain, we have implemented photovoltaic panels. It's a total number of 600 panels that were installed on the rooftop of our building, and they cover a total area of 1,500 square meters, and they produce 130 megawatts per year. What are the data of this? Well, we had a total investment of around 600,000 euros. We are expecting to get this investment paid back in 9 years. And considering that our equipment end of life is 35 years, this is really worth it. Another example is we have another shopping center that we opened in the third quarter of last year. It's in the north of Portugal, where we installed 6 solar panels on the rooftop. This is a slightly smaller project. It's a pilot study. And the objective is to have the solar panels to do the water heating for all the social areas. Again, I mean, the investment was slightly lower than the one for the north of Spain. We have 30,000 euros invested in this project, and we are expecting to have a payback of this equipment in 12 years. But again, our equipment will be there for 25 years. We know it's worth it. One of our environmental standards clearly says we need to have energy and water metering in all our shopping centers, and this is general meters and sub-meters. We need to have the exact notion of what each and every independent sector within our shopping center is actually consuming in terms of energy and water. Oitava Avenida was a project where we tried a lot of new things, and this is another pilot study. We installed a groundwater and rainwater harvesting system and to reuse the water within the shopping center. So these were some examples that we are implementing in terms of design phase. And in terms of construction phase, how do we make sure that our building is sustainable? Because it's not only the thing that our building will be efficient when it's being operated. It's Anne had already mentioned in her presentation that to have a sustainable building, we also need to make sure that during the construction we implement the environmental best practices on the construction activities. The way to make sure that all our contractors are aligned with what we want them to do is we force each and every construction site to be certified against ISO 14001, which is the international environmental standard, by the day that the shopping center opens. And so far, since our target was publicly assumed in 2004, we have certified with the ISO 40001 11 construction sites. And this basically means, just to give you an example, this was the construction of a shopping center in the north of Portugal, where just by implementing one of the environmental best practices of waste, we managed to save around 85,000 euros. And this is just one of the environmental best practices. We have best practices in many other areas, and it's have waste, it's got to do with water minimization, and a lot other. It's all the impacts that basically the construction activities have. And some examples of the operation phase. We have run two pilot studies in 2005 into shopping centers in the north of Portugal, where we decided, okay, we are going to separate the organic waste that is coming from the food court area, and we are going to send it away for composting. with initial investments of, you know, like pocket money, because it's 500 and 200 euros that I'm talking about, we managed to have just in the first year operation savings around 5,000 and 13,000 euros. And now I think you may be asking, why are these numbers so different? Because in the case of North Shopping, we get the multi-municipal system to collect the organic waste at the door of the shopping center, while in Rábida we need to bring it to the installation that does the composting. Anyway, in either case, it is worth it. So following these two pilot studies, in 2006 we started implementing this system in more shopping centers. 2006 we implemented it in further 8 shopping centers, and in 2007 we started it with our portfolio in Spain. And the idea is that by a very short-term deadline, we will have it as a common practice in all the shopping centers. Of course, we always need to see, is there a composting facilities nearby in the region or not, because you cannot think of shopping center as an island. But wherever these installations are, we are already separating organic waste for composting. Another example is the importance of managing the water consumption. We did, again, pilot studies in 2005 in 2 shopping centers in Portugal. They are 2 of our biggest shopping centers in Portugal. And with investments around the 30,000 euros, we avoided just in the first year, we avoided costs of around 60,000 euros. Because the fact is we had a lot of inefficiencies throughout the managing system that we were not aware of in the all-day life activities of the shopping center. And basically the investment was an audit. We sent auditors to check each and every meter and each and every routine that has to do with water consumption. And we identified a lot of points where we can gain efficiencies. This is another interesting example. This shopping center is also in the Lisbon area, and for reasons that don't have exactly to do with environment or efficiency gains, we have to pump the groundwater to prevent flooding problems. And before, this groundwater was just being thrown away to the sewage system. Then we came up with the idea, why aren't we using this water? So now we have a very simple system that costs 10,000 euros. It's a very basic filter and disinfection system, and we are using this water for sanitary flushes and for cleaning areas. And we have paid this investment in the first year that we implemented it. And now we are getting the benefits of it every year that we manage the shopping center. We have energy efficiency management initiatives that we have implemented as well. This is an example of another shopping center in Portugal where we changed the lighting system in the car parks. And well, we basically changed all the system of lighting in the car parks from magnetic strips to electronic ones. And with an investment of 125,000 euros, we are saving costs of around 25,000 euros a year. So we have a payback period of about 5 years. And we are also avoiding carbon emissions. So these were some examples of case studies that Sonae Sierra has been implementing all over the portfolio in the last years. But as a general comment is, we also think that it's really important to report our performance. So since 2004, we also publicly, publish our performance in the corporate responsibility report of the company. And the 2007 report should be ready for the public in less than 1 month. So if you are curious, you can go to our website, because then you'll have access to the report. I've talked a lot about tangible. Tangible is easy. We can calculate. I'm an engineer. The intangible benefits, well, there are a lot, and we are really sure we also have intangibles. But the intangible is hard to quantify. So if you go to any book of the bibliography on these issues, they will list you a set of bullet points with intangible benefits. The intangible benefits that we are sure we are getting from this approach of Sonae Sierra towards sustainability is we have a positive impact of our company in the market value. in the company and in all our assets. And we managed to achieve better performance, and we managed to give more comfort to our clients. And with clients, I say tenants, and I say all the visitors that come to our shopping centers. But this is all very beautiful, and how do we keep on the edge? We keep on the edge by making sure that we are participating in corporate studies that are being developed all over the world. So as you saw earlier, we are members of the WBCSD Energy Efficiency in Buildings project. We are also members of the International Council of Shopping Center Sustainability Working Group that is working together with BRI to develop a pan-European retail BREEAM. And we are also following the works of the European Standardization Committee to develop the ISO standard that will soon come out, 2010, it's predicted by now, that it's a standard for sustainability of construction works. So we think that to be an industry leader today, we also need to be a leader in environmental issues. And Sonae Sierra is going to be here as a long-term. Our approach to the business is a long-term business, and it's about creating value. It's about creating value with less impact. So thank you very much for your attention, and feel free to check our website or to contact me in the break.